Hi everyone, it's Angela with AP Pottery. Welcome back. I have a kiln opening today and I'm going to do things a little differently, and I have my mic finally hooked up. Another thing, I'm not in pajamas. Again, 2 times in a row that I'm not in pajamas, but I've had a busy day. So hopefully this mic is going to work a lot better. It took a while to get this thing hooked up to my phone, but I got real excited today. I had some company, I had some things to do, and I just unloaded the kiln earlier and decided to bring it down here to my studio. So excuse the mess behind me, but I got up this morning and let it be known that I got dressed. Wasn't wearing pajamas all day because I had an exciting thing to do this morning. Had another potter from a state not too far from me. I think she's a couple states away, and she was traveling and had to go through Kentucky and was coming near where I live. So we decided to meet for coffee this morning and just had the most amazing time. Pat Webb. Gosh, she's awesome. So glad that I got to meet with her this morning and drink some coffee, and look forward to seeing her again. Hopefully she's going to be able to meet up with me when she's on her way back, and maybe when she goes traveling and visits again. She said that she goes through Kentucky a lot, and my area is the halfway point. So I really look forward to seeing her again in the future. It was nice chatting with her about some pottery and stuff, and I'll insert a little picture of the two of us together at a coffee shop. She took a little bit of video. I didn't. She's supposed to send me some of that. But yeah, it was really awesome to get to meet somebody and get to talk pottery with them. And I have some other people that I'm hoping to meet soon also. So that was exciting. So I had to get up early and get dressed. And then my in-laws came in for the day. And my daughter is still in from the Navy. And I didn't get hardly any sleep last night. Was up late till 11:30, which is really, really late for me. Anyone who knows me knows I'm in bed by 9 to 10 o'clock every single night. And we had a big game night. Had a lot of fun. I was up till after 11:30, and then I was awake again at 2 o'clock this morning. I was hoping to get some pottery and stuff done today, but didn't get to. So there's always tomorrow. So forgive me. I am a little tired right now, but I'm going to go ahead and go through the kiln opening, and let me know how the mic is. I've remembered to turn my phone sideways for YouTube, which is something I don't know why I keep forgetting, but I am trying to do a lot better, and I hope the microphone and the lighting and everything is better today. So first off, I have a refire. And the only reason I refired it was because I missed a spot underneath a little bit. It wasn't much of anything. But this was black underglaze, wiped back on the sea turtles, a hand-built mug. And I think I did 2 times black underglaze, wiped it back, and then I did 2 times deep sea and 1 time celadon bloom over top of that. And I'm going to stand up real quick and just see how this looks. So please forgive me. I'm going to pull it away so I can get used to this and how close I need to be. Yeah, that's better. And the lighting is much, much better. So yeah. So that refire went well. Still a little light underneath of the handle, but it's glazed. So that's a good thing. Really, really good thing. And then let's see. I have 2 more sweater mugs, and I did the buttons a little different on my last kiln opening. I loved those sweater mugs, but I wished I had done the buttons a little different glaze wise. So this time I did. This sweater mug is on Iceman clay, and it's got 2 times birch inside, 3 times, no, I just lied, 2 times blue rutile on the outside. And then I did 2 times, no, it was 3 times blue rutile on the outside, and then 2 times birch on the buttons. And I like that a lot better. And I guess I did a little patchy, and I like that. I don't know if you can see how it's shining through and it's not all one consistent color. I really like that. And the next one, I'm going to make some more of those. I'm going to try some different things. This next one, I like the buttons even more on this one. So I did 3 times Scandinavian blue on the inside. And that's a spectrum glaze, and it turned out really pretty. So 3 times Scandinavian blue, 3 times stone denim on the outside. Again, I love the little bit of patchiness, how it shows the texture and then kind of fills the texture in where you can see the sweater. And then I did coffee bean 2 times, stroke and coat, Mako stroke and coat coffee bean on the buttons. And I like the buttons better, the brown, than I did the white. So yeah, I really like this mug. And the button had cracked a little bit down here when it was drying, and I just left it alone because you know what? Sometimes we have broken buttons on or cracked buttons on the things that we wear, and I think it gives it a little bit of character. So it didn't bother me at all. It just looks more realistic to me that it's there. So yeah, let me show you these two side by side. I don't know if you can even see them both in the frame, but and let's see. After that, we have another cat mug, 3 cat mug. And I did 1 time alabaster, 1 time winterwood on the bottom. And then I did purple aster ×2 on the top. I did black underglaze on the cats, wiped it back, and then put the zinc free clear. And then on the inside, I did 3 times eggplant and put a little bit of flux on it. So I hope you can see that. I really like how that turned out. Very pretty. I don't know what that white was. It was on something, but it just flaked off a little bit. It's probably, oh, I know what it was. It was one of those little kiln papers from Temu. So after that, I have 2 pieces that I did, and I keep saying that this is the Undseths, but I'm not sure if this is the Undseths or if this is Audrey's. I think the Undseths kind of do it backwards. This is right now my favorite glaze combination. It's the Birch cordovven, and I did, let's see, 2 times Birch on the outside, and really it could have withstood a 3rd coat. And then I did 2 times Birch on the inside, 2 times cordovven on the inside, and then I did light flux and swishes. Very pretty. And I think that the Undseths do it 2 times cordovven and then 2 times Birch, and then the swishes of light flux. But I like it this way. I mean, this is literally my favorite combination right now. Just so pretty. And look at the drip. There's a drip right there. There's another one there. There's a couple of drips. And I just think that combination is so pretty. And then I did this next thing. Same combination. And it's over texture. So some of the texture breaks through. And I think I did 3 times birch on the inside of this. And this is on Rue, Kentucky Midworks Rue clay. The other one was on speckled turtle. But the 2 times birch, 2 times cordovven, and then light flux swished around. I think that's so pretty. And I like how the birch on the inside almost looks like river birch. And it's not river birch. It's just birch. That's straight birch, maybe a little bit of flux at the top. And I don't even know if there's much of that. But this is a sponge holder. And my daughter had showed me a picture of something she wanted to make. Just, I mean, look at that. What's on the front too? So pretty how those blues come through and everything too. But my daughter had showed me a picture of a sponge holder that she wanted when she was here back at Thanksgiving. So I sketched it out on some paper and cut it out and taped it together and kind of figured out the size that we would need. And this is what I come up with. And this one is for me. I'm going to keep it. And I think it fit perfectly. So yeah, it's got a little hole here. There's a little drain hole. But I love that. So that's going to go on my sink in my kitchen. I don't know why I didn't leave that sponge in there. And then let's see. Next, this one is an Undseth combination. And I absolutely love it. I've never used ancient copper. I've used copper float before, but not ancient copper. This is on speckled turtle. So anyways, it is 2 times winterwood alabaster. So I think I did 1 coat of alabaster, 1 coat of winterwood, and then I put flux on it, and 3 times ancient copper on the bottom. And look at the drips. I've got to sand that off. There's 3 drips there, but I'll be able to sand it off, no problem. But look at the colors. I just can't believe, like I said, I've never used ancient copper before. And I love that color. I think this is going to be another favorite combination of mine. And then 3 times birch on the inside. I mean, so pretty. So pretty. So I did that one. That mug. And then I did this bowl. The bowl is the same. 3 times birch on the inside with flux along the rim. And then 1 time alabaster, 1 time winterwood along the top. Again, got some pretty drips there. And then that beautiful ancient copper on the bottom. I don't know why, but I'm just in love with this combination. I might have to make some things for myself. But I just decided to make this little matching set. Oh, look at that. I mean, wow. I love that. Yeah. So thank you, Kim and Todd Undseth, for that one. It's a beautiful combination. I have a few little test tile things that I did. Jeanette at Far Forest Ceramics was helping me try to come up with some different ways. I'm making these little things and they're curved to hopefully go on. And I didn't do the 2 holes on these, and I didn't do my texture like I planned on doing, but I wanted to get some done. So this is eggplant, and it's 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats. So that's Mako's eggplant. And that's on speckled turtle. I'm going to start testing my glazes because, gosh, I don't know. I maybe have 150 glazes. We need to get these figured out. Purple aster. 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat. A lot of good that texture did when I didn't do all 3 coats on the texture, but I already had these made up, and so I just went with them. Again, on speckled turtle. I'm going to do all of these on speckled turtle. This one is a Kentucky Mudworks glaze, and it's turquoise jewel. And you can see the 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat. I think that is a beautiful color. I've not used any of my Kentucky Mudwork glazes, and I want to. I only have 4 of them right now. But yeah, I love that turquoise. So I'll be using that one. And then this one is another Kentucky Mudworks. 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat Glacier. And again, they're all on Speckled Turtle by Kentucky Mudworks. And then I did these little Serenity stones or Worry stones. Just that one is Amaryllis, which I wasn't thinking how Amaryllis really needs more coats on Speckled Turtle, as do a lot of things, but that's why I'm going to be doing these samples. And then this one is Eggplant. Very pretty. And let's see. Then I did, this one I did Amaryllis on, and I probably should have done another coat, but the Amaryllis was so thick, and I thought I was putting too much on. But I have this cool batter bowl that I made, and it's 1 time alabaster, 1 time winterwood. And then I did 2 times Amaryllis and then light flux on the inside. And oh my goodness, I absolutely love this. I wish it had turned out more pinky. I'm going to get up and walk around and see make sure that the camera is showing this, because the inside is just yummy. That's what Sarah Perrin at Perrin Pottery, I think. Is that not just yummy? I love these little batter bowls. I mean, this one's not little, but wow. And I have a picture in the way that I did the flux around it, but on the inside, I'm trying to think what I did on the inside. Let me come back around. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough too. Let's put this back down. Oh, on the inside, I did 2 times Flux Blossom on the inside, about halfway. And then I did some flux around that. And then the 2 times Amaryllis. And like I said, I should have done the Amaryllis a little more. All of these pinky ones kind of burn off some on the darker clay. And I know this, I've learned this, but I still love the way that turned out. And I have this little old lady that comes in the barbershop. I cut her hair. And I think she's in her 80s, and I just absolutely adore her. And she's on a limited income and everything. And I had sold her an Amaryllis bowl, and I sold it to her really cheap, and she loved it. And she had seen my batter bowl, and she wanted me to make her one. So this one is for Juanita. Sweetest little lady. And she brought me in a homemade coconut cream pie. And I don't even like coconut, but it was so good. And I'm looking at this, and I was looking at it earlier, and there's 1 tiny pinhole. And I don't see any other ones. Just the one right on the rim. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it unless some other ones develop, because, man, I don't know what will happen if I refire that. I don't really want to refire that one. just for one little pinhole. And then this was a commission also. Another customer of mine, she had seen my wavy bowls in the barbershop. I usually make them and they sell pretty quickly. And this is the biggest wavy bowl that I have made. And she asked me to make one for her. I don't know if you can see how big that is. Wow. And I love how this turned out. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So I did texture all over it. And I did 2 times winter wood on the outside. Well, it's 1 time alabaster, 1 time winter wood. I've started doing that so that we don't have just tons of crystals. And then, let's see. So winter wood and alabaster on the back. And then I did same thing, winter wood and alabaster on the inside center. And then I did about 2 coats of cinnabar. And I did the cinnabar all the way down to about here. And then I took peppered plum and did 1 coat over the cinnabar. And then I did light flux. And what I usually do on these is, let me see if I can show you. I'll do light flux all around the rim, and then I'll do them in each of these bins and try and get it down in here also. And then I put like globs and dots in here in between. And then I put a little bit on the outside on the rim also. So yeah, again, is that not just yummy? Love this. And I'm going to take it to work and let her come look at it and see if she wants it. I don't know what to charge for this. I'm not good at pricing my stuff, and I know I underprice my stuff. And like I said, this is the biggest one I've made yet, and it barely fits in my kiln. So yeah, I feel like this one deserves a nat. Oh my gloriousness. Because to me, that's just glorious. But I saved, in my eyes, the best for last. So I have these 2 mugs that I started working on. Let's see. I'm trying to think when I did it. It's been weeks because I let them dry for quite a while, and I tried to slow dry them, and then finally got them bisque fired. And then I couldn't decide what to do with them because I was so afraid I was going to mess them up. But I've had the plans for both of these for months. I drew them out one day at work while I was eating lunch, and finally decided to glaze it. And I feel like I'm going to have to maybe do something a little different to this one. But I've wanted to make a girl gnome. I don't know what I'm going to name her yet. But this is my girl gnome. And I did, let's see, 3 times bougainvillea on the inside. And I should have thought, because again, this is a speckled turtle, and you would think I would learn, and now I honestly haven't. I'm thinking about going back and putting more on. But on the outside, I decided to try alabaster. And so I did 2 times alabaster. And then all along the rim on all of this where these drips are, I did poppy fields. And yes, Nat, I did poppy fields. I did poppy fields, and then I put some light flux on it. But it burnt out, so you can't see the pink, which is a little disappointing. I was hoping that I would see it more. And I mean, you can see little bits of it and little specks of it. And I know alabaster is that satin matte, but I really like it, especially on this speckled clay. And then I did Norse blue 2 times on her little jumper, her little overalls, or whatever you want to call them. I did Cracker Jack brown on her braids. That's a stroking coat by Mako. And I think I did 3 coats of Cracker Jack brown on that. And then I did poppy field, or no, I'm sorry. I did bougainvillea on her little emblem on her shirt. And I put a little bit of poppy fields right in here. I was scared what it was going to do. I didn't want it to run down over my gnome, but so I was a little lenient on the poppy fields. I'll probably go a little bit more, but what do you all think? Should I go back and put more poppy fields on this, or should I leave her like she is and just not take a chance at messing her up? I've got some more of these little girl gnomes that I'm working on. So there will be more of these to come. I sell my other gnomes like crazy, and I just wanted to have a girl. Why not? I thought the braids would be cute. So I love her. Absolutely love her. I love how the specks show through on this speckled turtle clay. That's my go-to for these little gnomes, is my speckled turtle. But I do wish it had more poppy fields on it. I wanted her to be girly. And then, and you know, I usually stamp my name on the bottom of a lot of things, but I've found that sometimes it warps the bottom. It changes the shape and the way that things sit on the bottom, and I don't like that. And so I started trying the underglaze stamp. Where's the other one? Which one did I miss it on? Miss it on that one? No. Oh, it was one of the sweater mugs. And I had AP Pottery, and you can actually almost see it right here. I had it in it, but I was trying to balance it out because it warped it and it was sitting wonky. So I put some water on my wedging table and was kind of trying to smooth it out, to level it out. And when I did, the bottom popped off of this mug. Now, this mug was almost bone dry, and I put the bottom back on. I was able to reattach the bottom, and in the process of it, smoothed that out. So I meant to put my underglaze stamp, and I'm not in the habit of doing that, so I forgot. So on that one, I don't have a stamp. On my girl gnome, I don't have a stamp. So really, I need to put her back in and put my maker's mark on the bottom of it. So I guess I'm going to take a chance at messing her up anyways. And then last but not least, this is something that I wanted to make for a long time. And this one was sitting here longer than the girl gnome. But I love how this turned out. And it looks even better in person. The camera just does not capture what this mug does. But I'm in love. Look at my little owl. I think I'm going to nickname this owl Tootsie, because I don't know, those of you who are around my age or a little older probably remember the Tootsie Roll pop commercials where the little owl is saying, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? 1, 2, crunch. So I think I'm going to name my little owl Tootsie. I love this. I sit and drew this design out one day at work, and another funny thing, let me finish telling you the colors on this first. So on the inside, and there's a lot to tell you on this one. On the outside, this is root beer. And I do have one little flaw on the back, just one, and no name, because I forgot to put my name on the bottom of this too. But it's 3 times birch on the inside, 2 times root beer, and then alabaster 2 times on his little chest. Let's see. I'll try to remember to stick a picture up of what he looked like when he was glazed. But I did alabaster on his eyes and birch. I did some birch around it. And on the wings, I did some alabaster and birch, and I brushed on, kind of feathered on some root beer. His little beak and his little feet are crackerjack brown, and on the nose I mixed some orange appeal in with the crackerjack brown, and it's 3 times on his feet and 3 times on his nose. On his inner eyes I used tuxedo and just dotted it, and I forgot to put the little white. I was going to put a little white dot in there also. So he had a lot of work of everything going into him, but I just love how he turned out. I took and used, I used quite a few things to make this and attach, and then carved his little wings in. And I don't know if I would do anything different other than maybe another coat of root beer on him and maybe a little more on his wings. I'm not sure, but I don't have a stamp and I have a little glitch back here. So tell me what you all think on this. Should I try? I don't even know if I want to sell him. I already have several people wanting to buy him. They had seen him when he was in clay state, just saw the pictures of him, and they were already wanting to buy him. And I was like, no, I don't know if he's even going to turn out. And the last thing I need to do is to jinx myself by trying to sell something before I do it. So again, just tell me what you think, if I should try and fix this little glitch and then put him back in for my stamp on the bottom. But then I'm so afraid. I don't know what's going to happen. I love this. I love my owl. And I really don't know in this kiln opening what is my favorite, because honestly, I think this is one of the best kiln openings that I've had. It doesn't have as much in it because there's some bigger pieces, but I love every piece. I love that ancient copper. I love the sweater mugs. I love the cordovven birch. Love my little girl gnome and my owl. This is the first time I can say in a kiln that I just absolutely loved everything. The batter bowl, the big wavy bowl. Yeah, I love it all. So it's been a pretty exciting day. I was hoping to get Pat over and get Pat to do the kiln opening with me, but when I went to meet her, my kiln was still at like 550 degrees, and it took forever to cool down today because it was like 70 degrees. So it took it forever. I didn't know when I was going to actually get to open it. So yeah, that's my kiln opening. Everyone, let me know what your favorite pieces are. And again, thank you all so much for watching. I don't know, I may have another kiln opening before the end of the year, but I'm not sure. I have a lot of stuff that needs to be glazed and got in the kiln, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time, or if I'm just going to focus on throwing some stuff on the wheel and a little more hand building. I have a list that's a mile long, and limited time. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. So I may have another kiln opening by the first of the year. I'm not really sure. And I may not. Maybe after the first of the year. We'll just have to see. But again, thank you everyone for coming back and for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like, comment. I truly appreciate hearing from every single one of you. I like hearing where you're watching from. I like hearing what your favorite pieces are. And really, I just love getting to know people. And if you're on Instagram and you want to chat, feel free to find me on there. On Instagram, I'm AP Pottery KY. I'm AP Pottery everywhere else, but on Instagram, I had to add the KY. So please feel free to message me if you have any questions about anything on here that I've missed. Would love to help, give you any information or any help that I possibly can. And yeah, don't forget to hit the little notification bell so that you get notifications whenever something is uploaded. And I just noticed the flux. I don't know if that's, there's 2 pinholes where the flux and the winterwood on the very top of this bowl. And that is it. I don't know if I need to do something to that or not. It's just on the rim. And I guess I could put that back in too, but I really don't want to mess up the ancient copper on that. So yeah, anyways, subscribe, like, comment. Feel free to find me on Instagram and chat with me. I absolutely love it. Love talking to people and learning more about pottery and just hearing everyone's journey. So yeah, I really appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.